Welcome to the Oilers TV live pregame show. I'm your host, Tony Barr. Thanks so much for making us a part of this beautiful afternoon in downtown Edmonton. I almost want to come up to the camera and shake it and say, what are you doing watching this? Go outside and go for a walk. It's been a while since we've had weather like this, so I hope you're having a marvelous day. Speaking of marvelous, the Oilers' comeback from 48 hours ago was definitely special in terms of building the team confidence and momentum. They're 10-2 in their last 12 games. Meanwhile, the Canucks 2-8-2 in the same span. Now, tonight will feature the same goaltending matchup between the pipes as Mike Smith gets the start for the Oilers and Thatcher Demko is reportedly starting for the Vancouver Canucks. Mike Smith, of course, letting in 3 goals in the game's opening 16 minutes on Tuesday. 9 shots directed his way in the opening 16 minutes, but then he went on to stop all 24 directed his way following that. Meanwhile, Thatcher Demko looking to rekindle some of that playoff magic that we saw here in downtown Edmonton during the summer. He right now currently has a 4-8-1 record and a sub-900 save percentage. Now, here's what you guys were looking for. A couple of lineup notes in terms of Ethan Bear. He would take the morning skate. I believe they're still on the ice right now in downtown Vancouver. But it seems like he's inching closer. Nothing confirmed yet on behalf of head coach Dave Tippett, which you'll be hearing from in just a few moments. While Kyle Turris might be ready to return physically to the lineup, but roster decisions will be made apparent in warm-up as head coach Dave Tippett and his coaching staff will continue to sit down and finalize that in the afternoon. Now, we have 3 interviews for you. We pre-taped them from earlier this morning, or earlier this afternoon, I should say. Ryan Nugent Hopkins, Kyler Yamamoto, and head coach Dave Tippett. Let's begin with number 93, Ryan Nugent Hopkins, as we'll play... Oh, I apologize. It sounds like we're going to start with Kyler Yamamoto, and then Ryan Nugent Hopkins and head coach Dave Tippett. Here they all are in rapid succession.
Kyler, you guys, obviously that win was important for your group and the way you won that game. I just wonder, as you guys look back on that, I know different wins affect you different ways, but how can a win like that help the group moving forward when you're in games where maybe you get down and just with that sense that you're not really out of things?
It just helps with their confidence. Being able to be down like that, going into the third period and then, have a comeback win like that. It's huge for us and, hope we can keep building on it.
With Cahoon and Draisaitl, you guys are back together. What quality do you think you guys bring, Tyler, outside of, just putting up some offense, but what are you happy about what you guys seem to bring to your ice time and your shifts together as a group outside of scoring?
I think we play a real solid defensive game. Just being able to clamp down on, the offense that's coming toward us, I think is huge for us, and we take a lot of pride in that.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Tell me about drawing penalties, Kyler. You drew a couple last game. I guess I'd ask you, before you came, you've drawn lots of penalties here because of the way you play. Have you always? Is that something that you did in junior? Is this a trait of yours?
Yeah, I try to. You just try to do as much as you can, and, sometimes guys take a penalty on you. I don't think I'm trying to draw penalties, but, that's the way it goes, and, happy I'm drawing them.
Yeah, like if you're, I guess I would ask you, if I'm watching you and you're drawing a penalty every night or a couple every so often, that seems to be a tell that you're playing your game. That seems to be something that comes along when you're going good. Is that fair?
Yeah, that is a fair compliment. So.
Thanks.
Other questions, media? Tony Brar, Oilers TV.
Hey, Kyler, you talked about the comeback. Just wondering if you felt like there was an overall sense of confidence that you guys can work your way back in that game, and if so, what were the conversations like during the intermissions?
Just stay with it. Keep playing our game. Eventually they were going to come, and we got our chances and we bared down on them. So I think, just staying with it and keep pushing forward.
And And the Vancouver Canucks, they come off 2 games where they had multiple goal leads, and they squandered them. So what kind of a team are you expecting tonight, and how do you prepare to combat that?
Expecting a. Oh, sorry. What was up? Oh, okay. Expecting a hard team to play against. They've blown a couple leads, but I know they're going to come back even stronger tonight and wanting to win. So it's going to be a tough game, and it's going to be a good one.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Kyler, just to piggyback off Mark Spector's question, you've also taken some penalties, taken 7 minors, and yet I've looked at a lot of them, and I'm wondering to myself, how did you get called for a penalty there when you're just stealing the puck off people? Are the refs looking at you because you're so dogged on the checking and stealing pucks that sometimes you're getting some penalties too, where when you get the penalty, you're just shaking your head and saying, how come I took a penalty there?
Yeah, it's it's tough anytime you take a penalty. Never trying to, but it's something that the ref sees that you didn't think you did, but they called it, so nothing you can do. But you just got to keep moving forward.
Thank you.
With a win over Vancouver tonight, you can move 10 points up on these guys, and I'm not saying bury them, but I'm saying put them in pretty far back in the rearview mirror. Is that part of the thought process as you're chipping away at securing yourselves a playoff spot this year?
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Like you said, we have a few points on them right now, but the more you can get on these teams as early as we possibly can, it's going to pay dividends in the end. And so, it was a good way to finish the game the other night. We battled hard. They got up 3 pretty quick, and we were kind of relentless on them and found a way to get those 2 points. So leaving here with 4 would be huge for us for sure.
People will look at a game like this and they'll categorize it as, this is a game you should win. So, on one hand, it's kind of recognition that you guys are going pretty well. On the other hand, I wonder how you look at a situation like that when they say, you should beat this team.
You can say that all you like. You can say that about a lot of different teams playing different games, but in the end, every team has the chance to beat anybody in this league. There's so much parity, and teams get hot. Teams, goalies can stand on their head. Guys will put the puck in the net. It's anything can happen in this league. We saw it. They got up 3 just like that, and it would have been easy for us to quit. But we stuck with it, and it paid off in the end. And I don't think there's any so and so's playing these guys. It's a for sure win. It's not really like that in this league. Teams are too good. We got to come out with the same mindset every night and make sure that we work for the win.
Marty Klinkenberg, Globe and Mail.
Hi, Ryan. You guys have put together such a nice run here lately, and probably looking back at the beginning of the season, you'd like to be where you are right now or in first place. You've gained a lot of ground on the teams ahead of you, and with that in mind, have you thought about at all yet about those next 3 games after tonight with the Maple Leafs?
Obviously, you take a look at the schedule. They're there. It'll be our first time playing a team 3 times in a row. So, got to prepare for that. But obviously, we gotta get through tonight first and make sure that our focus is solely on tonight's game. And it'll be a little different aspect playing a team 3 times in a row. I think we played most teams twice now. And there is some momentum shifts, and usually the team that loses the first one comes out flying in the second game. So I think that as the season goes along here, we got to start changing that a little bit. I thought we did a good job against Calgary. After winning that first one, we came out and we were hard to play against right from the start, and that's kind of the mindset we got to have tonight. And then moving forward into that 3-gamer against Toronto, it's going to be the same mindset every night.
Thank you very much, Ryan.
Tony Brar, Oilers TV.
Ryan, I know you said you guys wanted to focus on tonight, but just to backtrack 48 hours,
In that comeback effort, what was the biggest thing you learned about your team?
I mean, we were just relentless. It's fun to be a part of that. Every single line, all 60, are just nonstop on the forecheck. Everybody's working together. We're moving pucks up quick, not giving them a chance to get any rhythm on offense for themselves. And when we needed some big saves, I mean, Smitty was right there for us. So I think that we're a relentless team. One of our biggest attributes is our speed, speed on the forecheck. Speed offensively, coming through the neutral zone. So, I mean, that kind of relentless, a little bit of desperation in our game, I think it definitely helps. And, yeah, I mean, it was just good to see all 4 lines were buzzing and got the job done for us.
Now, in years past, that may not have been the case, that comeback. But it looked like you guys, just from your body language, it looked like there was still a sense of belief, even when you guys were down 3-0. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, we felt it in the room. I think it was important, again, that our first goal before the end of the first period as well. Just kind of, I mean, obviously a 2-goal lead's easier to come back from than 3 goals, but I mean, I don't think it would have made a huge difference, just the way that we were feeling. The confidence level in this group right now is high, and we got to keep that up. Obviously, confidence goes a long way, and but I think that the first goal before the end of the first period was definitely huge for us, and we were pushing hard for that.
Jack Michael, 630 Chad.
Ryan, you touched on something a couple of questions back that I wanted to ask you about concerning the forecheck. Is this group proven there's other ways to be a forechecking type of group as opposed to like the 2011 Bruins? Does this team do it almost with skill on the forecheck rather than necessarily pure muscle?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just kind of all over everybody. When we're playing our best, it's all 5 guys are involved, and it's just good sticks. It's creating loose pucks, and we're coming up with those pucks, and then we can use our offensive skill and abilities to play from there and create a lot of offense out of that. So it's not always about getting in and hammering guys. I mean, I think early in the games, we've kind of been doing that. I mean, maybe not running guys, but just finishing every check, not making it easy on the D-man back there, and you create a lot of loose pucks that way, like I said, and we just have been putting pucks on net and getting those rebounds and kind of playing off that.
And secondly, does the team view it a little bit differently than people on the outside in terms of, putting separation, say, for instance, between you and Vancouver? Are you guys thinking more upward? Because if you really look at this group, I know there was a couple of players that changed out from last year, but they've experienced nothing but success. Are you guys thinking more in what's in front of you than behind you?
Well, obviously, we're I mean, you look forward, but you can take care of what's right in front of you. Right in front of you at the time. Tonight, I mean, we have a chance to get four points out of Vancouver, and that's huge for us. I mean, we took 4 against Calgary. All these little mini series, the goal is always to take 4 points, and so I mean that's kind of our mindset. You can look in the future. I mean, obviously, you take 4 points away from these guys, they don't get any. So every game is divisional. So I mean, you kind of do separate yourself a little bit more in that sense, and obviously we want to put ourselves in a good position. This last little stretch that we've been going on has been really good for us. We kind of stuck with it after not our best start. I mean, we knew that we had to improve on some things, and we took care of that early, and now we're just rolling forward, and just got to keep our sights on Vancouver tonight.
Kevin McGran, Toronto Star.
Following up on that, Ryan, just building points, creating separation, sweeping series, that sort of thing. Given the way the league is set up and the divisions are set up, how important will it be for a team to finish first in its division? If you guys do it, how big would that be?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the goal. We want to finish with as many points as high in the stands as we can, and you're gonna have a chance to do that. You play every team 9 or 10 times. It's up to nobody but ourselves. So. I think we were talking about it a little bit earlier. After tonight's game, we do play Toronto a few times, and we know that they're ahead of us, and so I mean that gives us a shot at them right there. And then I think we play Ottawa a few times, and we go to Montreal. So I mean, you start playing these teams, quite a few times in a row. But, I mean, like I said, obviously right now our focus is on Vancouver tonight, and then we'll move forward from here.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Just one for me, Dave, and that's about the forecheck. Is your club a different type of forechecking team in the sense that it's not just pure muscle, it's a skilled forecheck where you may not have the biggest team, but maybe the most relentless?
Well, we try to be. Forecheck is about trying to check the puck back in the offensive zone, so it's about positioning, about getting your stick on pucks, creating loose pucks, and I like our quickness in that respect. There's a lot of times when we feel like we can do a better job of forechecking, and in the last game, I didn't think we forechecked very well in the first period. By the time the third period come around, we were forechecking well. So it's can be a tool you can use to create chances and put pressure on the other team.
Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Dave, in your experience, when your team's winning, is it easier as a coach to hammer down on some things? Are guys more attentive just because everybody's in a more positive mood compared to if you're in a losing streak maybe, and it's hard to get down on a guy because he might be lacking confidence?
Yeah, you're probably selling the same message. Just sometimes they're grumpy and sometimes they're all right with it. So it's we try to stay pretty even keel. If we need areas to improve, we're pretty methodical about it, and even when you're finding ways to win some games, there's things you can improve, but there's also things that we can enhance. There's things that we like about our game too that you bring into it, and you actually do that. If you're not getting results, it's that fine line. You can't be negative all the time. You got to have some positive light on everything, whether you're winning or you're losing, and that goes for fixing problems. You got to be able to fix them when you're winning or losing.
Have you, or are you willing to share who your starting goaltender is tonight? And also, is Ethan Bear eligible to play?
Ethan's going to skate this morning, and we're going to talk to him after the skate. We're hoping he's getting close, and our goaltender is Mike Smith.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Do you, Dave, with you're juggling your goalies. I know you always got to make calls on that. You got way more players than you're used to having in town. You got to make calls on that. How are you finding here? Keeping everybody happy and keeping everybody ready and playing? Is it? Yeah, you have lots of conversations with players, but ultimately everybody recognizes we're trying to find ways to win games here every night, and there's injuries you're dealing with. You're trying to keep everybody engaged. It's there's some challenges. Some days I know there's players that are disappointed they're not playing, and then there's other days where probably when the team is going well, everybody is in sync. So it's you monitor it every day as a coach, but ultimately it's given us lots of options, and especially with our D banged up as much as it has, it's given us the depth that we need to muscle through there a little bit. So it's different. We've mentioned that earlier a few weeks ago. It's normally you have two guys that are sour, they're not playing. Now you got 6 or 7, not sour, but everybody wants to play.
All right, thank you.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Dave, Patrick Russell was on emergency loan. Is that just because you just didn't have enough healthy forwards last game, and that's how he's designated?
That's probably a better question for Bill Scott. I'm not sure how. We just said we needed him off taxi on, and he was available for us to use. So whether it's regular recall or emergency, there's rules that go along with that probably Bill would be more apt to fill you in on the details of that.
Okay, and a question about Adam Larson. You have some offensive defensemen and puck movers, obviously, on the right side. Is he different? I mean, in today's game, everything's about the puck moving, and yet Adam seems more like a Jake Muzzin type or a Chris Panev type, who you certainly need to play all the time, but that makes it uncomfortable for the other team.
Well, he's you look at him, he plays a hard, steady game. Hard in front of the net. Good penalty killer. Plays against other teams' top players. He plays hard minutes, and you can't have, he moves the puck all right, but there's obviously guys that can move the puck better, but he's a better defender in some situations. So that's one of the luxuries we have, is we have a defense with, we feel like, a lot of different capabilities of players that we can cover a lot of roles there. But Larson's played really well. He's had a different partner. He started with Jones and then went to Lagesson, and now has been with Russell for a few games, and he's been a steady guy. That pair has been a good pair for us every game. So he's kind of the rock that kind of takes that second pair on, and he's played very well.
Ryan Rashog, TSN.
Dave, just on the goaltending, since he's been healthy, you've been running Mike Smith quite a bit here. Is it a situation where he's just playing real well and you want to continue to ride what looks like a hot hand for you? Or
no, we're going to play them both, but we're going to take it game by game, and we just I like the way he played in the third period the other day, and just decided to go back with him 2 in a row.
And looking back to last year, there was some back and forth, and every once in a while guys would play a little bit more. Are you open to the idea that if somebody really grabs this thing, that it doesn't have to be closer to an equal split?
Yeah, we're open to winning. We're going to make a decision on what we think gives us the best chance to win every night, and with also the thought process that you're going to play a lot of games, you're going to need both guys playing.
Kevin McGran, Toronto Star.
Hey, Ryan was on here a little while ago talking about the importance of winning games, of sweeping series, of putting some separation between you guys at the top and the teams beneath you. How important would it be, or how huge would it be, given the way the playoffs will be set up within the division, to finish first in this division?
You just want to make the playoffs. We got a mindset. We want to prepare, make the playoffs, and play as well as we can. The seedings will take care of themselves. We want to make sure that we're giving ourselves the best chance to be the best team we can be going into the playoffs, and the goal is to be a playoff team, and we'll worry about the rankings as they go along.
Thanks a lot.
Jim Matheson.
Just a question on Turris. Is he able to play?
He had a good practice yesterday, and I think he'd be ready to play. We'll see after the skate today.
Thank you.
And there was Kyler Yamamoto, Ryan Nugent Hopkins, and head coach Dave Tippett. Again, the Oilers 10-2 in their last 12 games. The Vancouver Canucks 8-2 in the same stretch. And speaking of eights, it's an 8 p.m. puck drop once again tonight. So have your afternoon coffee. Don't be like me, like 48 hours ago, and learn the hard way. Of course, we'll always have the live post-game show for you right after the game, so I'm sure we'll see you here once again on Oilers TV and EdmontonOilers.com. Enjoy tonight's action, and we'll see you soon.